What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I'm making this video today because, as you guys know, there are potential complications for this upcoming season due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and there have already been delays. Obviously, the draft was done virtually, and so on and so forth. Well, this has, what we're going to talk about today has to pertain to this upcoming season because there have been developments in that area. The NFL has, put out their game plan as of now. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this comes from ESPN. NFL set to release full 17-week schedule next week, league spokesman says. So in other words, they expect to put out the schedule for all 32 teams this upcoming week with the idea that there's going to be a 17-game schedule. Or a 17-week schedule, excuse me. Not 17-game schedule. That won't be until next year if we get there. So, but that is so for the new collective bargaining agreement. That is supposed to go into effect next season. The 14-team playoff schedule is supposed to go into effect this year. Anyway, so the NFL isn't altering its plans. The league will release its 2020 schedule late next week without any major changes, league spokesman Brian McCarthy confirmed, including a September 10th opener, the Super Bowl on February 7th, and visions of fans in the stands. Look, at this point, especially with states reopening way too early, I mean, look, we never caught up, period. We just never did. We didn't have the testing. We still don't have the testing. The entire nation didn't have a lockdown at the same time. Like, we're in no way prepared, no way ready, what have you. This thing is only going to continue to get worse. The numbers are continuing to skyrocket, etc., etc. So things are bad, and they're going to get a lot worse. As far as I'm concerned, from my perspective, I don't see how the NFL is going to feasibly have the season go on with the course that we are on, with the path that we are on. Like I said before, like I have said before, I do think that there are potential ways that the NFL could, maybe, hopefully, kind of somehow get games to be played without fans at all in the stadium. They're not going to be able to have fans in the stadium. They're just not, period. If they have an NFL season, they won't be able to. But look, we've talked about it. There are too many problems. I mean, even without that, you have 32 teams worth of coaching staffs and assistant personnel. You have all the players on those teams, and they have to travel all across the country to different states that are open, states that are closed, right? And so they're going to help to spread the virus if they do that. Not to mention the camera crews and the referees and all that shit, because of course they're going to want to televise it so they can rake in billions of dollars. So it's just massively dangerous. Not to mention, if I'm not mistaken, there are supposed to be games held in both London and Mexico City this season. So how do those countries, because it's not just America that's involved there, right? How do those countries feel? How are they going to feel? Are they going to want that to happen? Sure, the NFL could then just reschedule those games for home games again, or something like that, or domestic games, but it's not a good idea. But look, again, it's just that money-hungry machine just pushing forward. Anyway, let's continue on. We plan to start on time, McCarthy said. ESPN's Chris Mortensen reported in mid-April that the league planned to release its schedule based on a full season by May 9th. NFL Executive Vice President Troy Vincent told the Associated Press this week that the league is doing reasonable and responsible planning regarding health and safety during the coronavirus pandemic. Pause right there for a quick second. If you think you're going to open the fucking the league and start the season on time, that's just not accurate. It's just not accurate. There's no way you could be listening to health officials like the doctors and the scientists. Fuck, these clowns in government. If you listen to those guys, if you listen to fucking Donald Trump and a lot of these Republican governors, You know, even the ones that are doing it the best, Gavin Newsom and Andrew Cuomo, for example, California and New York, even they have pretty significant flaws in their, whatever. It's different for both of them. You know, they have their own separate issues, but they're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. They're doing it far better, but not good enough. And so, I mean, look, if you listen to these fucking clowns, or even the national media, the mainstream media, they're all fucking, because all they care about is their money, their stock portfolios, and making sure that but it's inevitable. They're morons, because people are going to keep dying. More and more people are going to continue losing their jobs. The economy's going to crash anyway. It already is. We're going to be in a worldwide depression before long. Okay? And, look, I mean, it's counterintuitive. They want to open everything immediately, but that's only going to make the problem worse and going to guarantee that the economy absolutely crashes and that this virus goes on much, much, much longer and is far deadlier than it needs to be, or than it would be if we were just, if we did things properly. Anyway, but again, all they care about is their money, and that's all they want. It's ridiculous. The league has evaluated contingency plans should the pandemic intensify, working in conjunction with the NFL Players Association and medical experts on a set of protocols. Okay, I'm sorry. I try not to go off on tangents, but I gotta pause again. The league has evaluated contingency plans should the pandemic intensify. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Should the pandemic intensify? I don't know if you guys know this, but the pandemic has only gotten worse since it started. It's almost, other countries are starting to kind of get things, but they're still continuing to get new cases in. The death rate is fucking still going up worldwide. It's over 7%. It's been kind of hovering around 7%, to be fair, for a little while now, but it's still... the overall trend is still going up. I mean, we're at 3.4 million cases worldwide. America has going on we have 1,136,000 cases and growing by the tens of thousands every day. It's absurd. It's ridiculous. It's as bad as it can be at this particular point in time, and it's only going to continue to get worse. So how bad does it need to get before they consider it bad enough? Get the fuck out of here in case it fucking intensifies. It's going to intensify because you fucking morons continue to fucking open up states. And then, of course, you have all these other fucking the right-wing idiot voters who go out there and protest, especially these idiots that are doing armed are you kidding me? What are you going to do? You're going to shoot the virus? Or what are you going to do? You're going to shoot fucking politicians because they are trying to keep you safe. You morons. You morons. They are trying to keep you from dying and getting potentially fatally ill. You morons. Okay, whatever, dude. I honestly don't care about those people and think that the world would be better off without them. But the problem is then they spread it to fucking everybody else and they make the overall problem that much fucking worse. Okay, god damn it. I really don't want to go off on too many tangents, but now I got myself into a motherfucking heated thing, and so let's go. It's just... Because this shit ain't no fucking joke, man. People are dying, and there's bigger things than the NFL. There's bigger things than football. There's bigger things than fucking money. More important things than money and materialism and greed. The health of human beings, the happiness of human beings and the planet, for example. Anyway, one of those contingencies is delaying the season until mid-October, according to the Sports Business Journal. Empty stadiums and no bye weeks have long been discussed. Okay, so to be fair to them, they have had those discussions, but they are clearly very much leaning on the side of, let's get this open at full capacity. We need to make sure to have as many tickets sold as possible. We need to pack stadiums. We need to get fucking hot dogs and beer sold fucking by the boatloads at these things, etc., etc. We don't give a fuck if people get sick. We don't care. We just want our money. Anyway, god damn it. One option not on the table, a source told ESPN, is gathering players at a centralized location to execute a season. The NBA and Major League Baseball have discussed playing at a neutral site such as Walt Disney World, Las Vegas, or Arizona, but the NFL doesn't plan to do that. I mean, you know, sure, I guess, I mean, what? They're going to have the entire league, all 32 teams play in a neutral site? I think that would be a logistical nightmare, but I don't know. Let's hear what they have to say about it. Who knows? Anyway, the NFL schedule is not expected to include an influx of Saturday games despite uncertainty about whether college football can start its season on time. That's another thing. I'm sorry. One more tangent. Listen to that. I mean, the college football season might cancel, should cancel, and likely will cancel because of this, but the NFL's like, well, you know, since college football won't be around and Saturdays will be open, there we go. There's an out for us. They're going to shut down and all these other sports are going to be shut down. But the NFL, man, we can keep going. We can play games on Saturdays. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? Okay. The league is evaluating when players can re-enter team facilities. The NFL and NFLPA have agreed to keep buildings closed until every state in which a team resides lifts its stay-at-home mandate. Teams are prepared to conduct off-season workouts and June mini camps virtually. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell will not accept a salary during the pandemic. The league raised more than $100 million for coronavirus relief during the NFL draft. Couple quick things right there. So, obviously, it's a good thing that they make sure to keep things shut down and don't allow people in facilities until they're all open. That could keep it shut down because of states like California, but states like Nevada and fucking Texas and fucking, you know, whatever, Florida, those states are perfectly happy to open. So there's that problem. You know, the virtually thing certainly can work for a while. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell not taking a salary, I think that's cool. And I think that's a good thing to do for sure. However, the dude's already fucking rich as balls, so it's not like it fucking matters all that much. Secondly, with the league being pretty much shut down, what the fuck is he doing anyway? I mean, the dude was, by the end of the draft, was pretty much a fucking sleep in his chair. I mean, Jesus Christ. And the dude looked every single night by the end of each night like he had been saucing it up the whole fucking time, right? So, like, okay, there's that. Also, as far as the fucking, again, I mean, as much as, like, you know, NFL owners and celebrities and people start donating like fractions of their overall wealth, like tiny fractions of their overall wealth, we're still playing catch up. We still don't have enough ventilators. We still don't have enough masks. We still don't have enough gowns. We still don't have enough tests or gloves or any of that shit. We don't have enough. We're still way too far behind, and they could do so much more, but they don't. They have the coffers to do it. They have the money and the resources to pump into it, but they don't. They could just let it flow. They could be like, you know what? I am going to give you guys, whoever you guys is, whoever needs it, I am going to open up my fucking bank account unlimited until this thing is settled and done. If they really wanted to open the season on time, they would do something like that, but they don't. Instead, now to be fair to them, they did do a matching system, which I actually didn't find out until like day 2 of the draft, when Roger Goodell said it like at the very end. But they did match the donations given by people. But first of all, way too fucking late. The goddamn pandemic's been going on for months. So you wait until fucking the end of April to start actually raising money for it. But additionally, you're raising money from the people who are being hit by it. The average fucking person, the person that doesn't have any fucking money because of this, because they've been laid off or because of whatever the fuck. Right? Like, okay, so you're going to fucking ask, even though the NFL is worth how much? I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm guessing as a company, the NFL has to be somewhere in the hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars, not to mention all of the billionaire owners when you put them together. Oh my goodness, do they have ungodly amounts of money. Stephen Ross gave like $500,000. What the fuck is $500,000 compared to this? Compared to your wealth, you fucking asshole. asshole. Okay, so do a fucking lot more than that, and don't raise the money from the fucking people being hurt by it. How about you dig into your own fucking pockets, you greedy sons of bitches? God, I'm so tired of these motherfuckers. And you know what? Just to hear one more thing before I jump up out of here. These motherfuckers, I know I'm getting like hella political in this, but these motherfuckers keep talking about how they fear that if, you know, progressives or if, you know, socialists took over, that they would get strung up and fucking blah, blah, blah. No, what we would do is we would hold them accountable for the crimes that they have commit, for the millions of lives that they have ruined, and likely imprison them for the rest of their life because they deserve it, and that's called justice. But at the rate that they are going with the wealth income inequality the way it is, with the way that they just keep fucking over everybody in this country, the average person, and keep bailing out these giant corporations, etc., etc. All right, bruh, fuck around, find out, because you're going to get the pitchforks doing it that way. Anyway, there is another thing that I want to talk about. I'm going to make another video for you guys. It's going to be discussing who takes over the AFC East, with the Patriots now looking like they are going to be falling a little bit, and some other teams doing well. The rest of the AFC East teams looking quite different than they used to. So check out for that. I'm going to make that video for you as well today. It'll be out a little bit later after this video, so check that out. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys enjoy my videos and perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And of course, as always, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Phins up.